Funny thing. Well, um, um, uh, today is 30 of July of 2025. Not that the date it's so important. Um, what we are going to talk today, and trying, I'm going to try to get to the point. Um, you see, today was a normal day. I think after I finally I'm losing some frames. I don't know why. Mm, Sweet. I think now it's getting better. Probably that. Well, um, today, after begun to go back, what the hell is happening with my phone? I don't know what my phone is doing here. I need to turn it off. Well, finally, af- after I finally um begun to back to programming, the the view makes so I'm still doing the same page throughout some days during the week, but I think I hope I finally finish this view in the end. But well, um, after I finally begun to go back to do what I was supposed to do months ago, I'm feeling much fine, much better, much more concentrated, and I think I'm feeling more a an able person, just like that. I I always have not a company. I don't know if the word is followed. I always try to get the information about politics and geopolitics and much other stuffs stuff and things like that. And when I'm not doing that, I am um, studying, reading, praying, things like that. But got to know. I noticed one thing that probably many of you know this, but it gets me um, thinking much of it about it, that there are people when there is trouble that is going to happen, or it is already happening. There is two types of people. There, not that what I'm going to say now it's something absolute, but there are the people who in one hand um, begin to get almost like desperate, begin to make things without thinking clearly, like taking money out of the country, begins to buy, put his money in other types of papers, then, right? Other types of papers, um, and try to make, try to in some way try to keep, to save that money, or at least doesn't lose it for the inflation or for the trouble that will come to in the place you are living. Something normal to many other countries, but not that, but I see that people begin to make this one hand and try to take everything out of its city, of its country, in an expectation that the person will, in long run, keep that money and things. And in the other hand, there are people which doesn't even care about what's happening. And how can have I'm beginning to think, how can have such people that are in both extremes of between, many choices that could be made, and they decided more for the extremes. I don't really get it, because maybe that's because I accompany politics and stuff, kind of, in a kind of way. I kind of participate of this politics, not the way the politicians do. That I feel that some way I participated of this, and I know what's happening and what's going to happen, because in the long run I have been reading, hearing, and knowing, uh, those things. So the punch, about knowing those bad things that are going to come, um, it's already something soft for me. Not that I like to hear those things, but I can handle this now. And those people, as they don't usually follow this stuff, this news, the debate about those things that are happening, the economics debates, all of this, um, get pretty lost and need to make these choices that I don't feel that they are the best to be done. And why I'm saying all of this, because I have the feeling that I'm getting out of the topic. Um, I I don't try to put my money out of my country, unless I intend have the intention to sooner get out of this country and live in the country where my money, or at least a great part of my money is, because money is something, it's something that can be taken from you, and you need to fight to recover this money. Things, um, belongings, properties, all this, can be taken from you. It's important, of course, um, to save some money and to avoid losing your money to the inflation. But you need to you can postpone those things to later, go after this later. But at the same time, you don't need to, um, You don't need to make hasty choices. Why I say that? Um, you see, everything you have, in my way of seeing things, you can make it again. All out, all, all, all out of nothing. Not not like God, of course, but you can make the fortune, the belongings, the properties. You can have all of this again. What you cannot um, lose, it's the knowledge you have. It's the experience you have about um, how things work in countries, in power, in business. And the law can change, but there are things that always keep. If you know how to make business, how to help people make business, legal business, of course. Um, if you know how power in the place you are is distrib- distri- distri- distribu- distributed, is distributed. You should know how, and if you know history quite well, you see things that intersect in each other. With history, with business, business with power, power with history. You begin to see the intersections, and you see intersections where many of those things get contact with each other. Those are the places you can make choices because you are more certain of what you should do. If you see something that a knowledge, I don't know, of business um, can be pointed out in history, and by the knowledge you have of power and other types of knowledge, all of these, when one type of knowledge begins to talk about that specific part of the other knowledge, and if you find things that other knowledges begin to point each out in those parts, you find what you should do, what you should trust your choices. It's simple as that. I get really sometimes I don't think it's good to know all the things I know, and I don't think I know too much. But it's not good to know all the things I know, and I can't tell people about this because there are many ways this how these people can handle this knowledge. Most of the times I think it will only work to those people that uh, are really humble to know that they doesn't know all this much, and they have the patience to hear the same patience I had and I still have. I not counsel no one here. to to always be updated about all all those stuffs that I am. You know, I have I kind of choose to be that in my life. But if you always know from more than one source things about politics, geopolitics, things a little bit of things from economy and much history, can assure you that you see the troubles, but you not get desperate. At least it's not for everything, but you not get desperate. If you have faith, you you never you not get shaken. When you have faith, you'll be unshakable. But truly faith and truly purposed. If you have both of these, it can make much difference. Well, unfortunately, people, I get off topic. I don't know if anyone is going to ever hear this. Um, and I begin to think, it's so good that I make these lives with no one, um, because I can practice my English, improve my English, and other stuff. But if there is someone with patience to hear all of this trash, I don't know, much patience. Well, I will finish here, but um, I'm feeling well. I finally got back to do my stuff, and even with the bad things that are happening now, I'm calm because I'm seeing what's happening, but I am not desperate because I have seen this before, and I know there is an end. There is something in the end of the tunnel. There is light. Well, people, see you next time.